I... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Hello, everyone. Oh my god, Alright, so, for context, I literally just got in the door like 5 minutes ago from work, and my girlfriend messaged me and said, you need to see this headline, you're not gonna believe this, and I'm like, what? And then I see it, and I'm like, there's no way this is real. There's no way that this is a real thing. And then I get on my computer, and I go on Twitter, and I go to Craig McCracken's Twitter, and he's literally posting about it on his Twitter account. Oh, I need to breathe. Okay. Alright. There's very little things that make me this excited about stuff anymore. I've grown so numb and so cynical towards a lot of things. Sonic, Pokemon, a lot of video game franchises, movies, live action reboots in general, this and that and the other thing, and like, this is what 2016 should have been. And you know what? I don't even care that the reboot exists anymore. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. It's insignificant. It is so insignificant at this point. So yeah, I'm sorry that initial reaction right there was all over the place, and I'm going to be all over the place for the rest of this video because this is completely unscripted. Like I said, I just got home. These are my initial reactions just coming right off of reading Craig McCracken's tweet on Twitter, and I haven't even read the Variety article yet, so I'm actually going to read it in this video for you guys. I absolutely cannot believe this. I'm literally jumping for joy. Like, oh my god, I'm such a child. Okay, now that the hype for this has kind of died down and worn off for me a little bit, I took like a half-hour step away just to kind of process everything. I'm here to actually give my real thoughts on what I think of the Powerpuff Girls announcement regarding Craig McCracken. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first read off the actual article that was published by Variety.com a couple hours ago at the time of this video's recording. This is July 18th, 2022, for historical reference and purposes in case I ever decide to come back and reference this video, or somebody else wants to come back and see what my initial reaction was to this announcement, and then what it ended up being at some point in the future, a year or years down the line. So, with that said, let's go ahead and just dive right into this article and I'll read it off for you guys. So, Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, reboots in the works by original creator Craig McCracken. Craig McCracken is taking another crack at the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. The original creator of the two animated classics is developing reboots of the series for Hanna-Barbera Studios, Europe. The Powerpuff Girls reboot revisits and expands upon the world of the original show, as Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup face off against a variety of villains comprised of familiar foes and new threats. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends will return as an original preschool animated series, welcoming a new cast of imaginary friends. McCracken, who began his career at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons in 1992, also created Disney's Wander Over Yonder and Netflix's Kid Cosmic. The Hanna-Barbera homecoming of Craig was an opportunity we could not pass up, said Sam Register, president of Cartoon Network Studios, Warner Brothers Animation, and Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe. Along with his unparalleled sense of fun and imagination, he's bringing two of his greatest works in the Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and we are so excited for these characters to be a part of the new legacy taking shape at the studio. The original Powerpuff Girls series debuted on Cartoon Network in 1998. Throughout its 78-episode run, the show won 2 Emmy Awards and numerous other animation honors. The series centers on 3 child superheroes whose mission in life alternates between going to school, fighting crime, playing hopscotch, and saving the world before bedtime. The CW is still working on a live-action reboot of the tune as well, after overhauling the pilot last year. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends originally ran for 6 seasons on Cartoon Network. During its run, it earned 6 Emmys and became a classic among younger generations. Sarah Fell, Vice President of Original Kids and Family Animation at HBSE, will oversee development of both projects. Okay, so, my thoughts on this subject. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I am so incredibly happy about this news, and I absolutely cannot believe it. I am over the moon regarding this subject. Okay, so, the Powerpuff Girls reboot by Craig McCracken, which we don't have a name for. Hopefully it'll have some kind of like subtitle or signifier to differentiate itself from the original and from the 2016 one, because, I mean, as we all know, we just call Powerpuff 2016 Powerpuff 2016 because on creativeness. So my thoughts for this show. For starters, I hope that it is the perfect blend of action and comedy. Out of anything that I could really ask for, I want this new reboot to have that balance back, because the reboot seemed to fall too far on the light side of things with like really overabundance of comedy, and this new live action CW series seems to be leaning the opposite way with lots of darkness and adultness and violence and whatever. So the Powerpuff Girls is at its best when it is a happy medium balance between the two. More hopes for the series. The fact that Craig McCracken is involved kind of gives me a little bit of faith that maybe more team members from the original show will be involved as well. Maybe some writers or some, the voice actors, and I'll get to the voice actors in a second. When I look at other things that, Cartoon Network did in the past, look at Samurai Jack Season 5. Genndy Tartakovsky, he came back, he worked on Samurai Jack Season 5, and he got a bunch of his crew together, a bunch of people who worked on the original show, both voice actors and writers, and I hope that the same is true for this. If they could get some of the writers from Powerpuff Girls, but yeah, get some new writers, but get some old writers. If there's like a healthy blend or a healthy mix of it, I think that would be great. I would love it if Lauren Faust worked on this show, because Lauren is amazing, and I hope that, the opportunity is there for her, but who knows? We'll see. Voice actors. I hope they get the original girls back. I hope they get Kathy, Tara, and EG to come back and voice Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, because that would be absolutely amazing. It'd be awesome if they could get Roger L. Jackson for Mojo, Tom Kenny for, the narrator and the mayor, and oh my gosh, make the narrator a character again. Please, for the love of all things holy. Make the narrator a character again. Also, make the professor not a terrible character. Please. I beg that the professor is a competent dad again. Like, he can be goofy, but I pray that he is competent, that he's not just stupid for the sake of bad writing and all the other problems that the reboot had. Please make the professor a good character. Bring back Miss Bellum. That should be obvious. Miss Bellum was an amazing character too. Miss Keene definitely deserves more of a role. I'm not really sure what they're going to do in regards to Tom Kane, because I do realize that, as many people also know, he did have some health complications a little while ago, and I'm not sure what he's up to now and if he's capable of doing that, or if they might need to recast that character of the professor, and whether or not they'll even bring him back, I'm not sure. But I do hope that he's doing okay. I'd love to see Jim Cummings come back as Fuzzy. I'd love to see Jennifer Hale as Princess again. What else? I'd love it if the Gangrene Gang and Fuzzy and Sedusa got more episodes. Because the reboot, didn't even bring in Sedusa, and the Gangrene Gang and Fuzzy barely got any representation. I'm glad that we're living in a time now where the 2016 reboot is a thing of the past. Nobody cares about it anymore, and with this reboot coming out, it essentially erases it. It doesn't erase it from history, but it cements itself in just a period of nothing. The number one thing I want the 2016 reboot to become so irrelevant that nobody even remembers it happened. Except me. I'm never going to forget, because I'm scarred for life. I want people to remember that it happened so that literally everyone on the planet knows what not to do. But aside from that, the fact that it's not a continuation, it's described as a reboot, and who knows, maybe this article is ad-libbing, maybe it's not, but I just have hope. I have hope in this one. I did not have hope when I heard about the announcement in 2014 because Craig wasn't a part of it. Craig is a part of this one. I have hope. I'm excited. I really am excited to see what Cartoon Network and Craig McCracken have in store for us regarding this reboot. What else? I hope it's not 3D CGI. I hope it's 2D animated. That's something I hope for. I hope it's 2D animated, because and I also hope it's not a preschool series. Now, I know that in this article, and this is why I'm leaning towards it not being a preschool series, and I'm more setting myself up to expect it to not be a preschool series, is that this article specifically singles out Foster's Home as being a preschool series. Now, I can see Foster's Home working with that concept, because the concept of imaginary friends is already something that a lot of young children experience, or they have their own imaginary friends, or they're familiar with the concept of blah blah blah. So Foster's Home's setting and a concept makes a lot more sense to be aimed at younger kids. The Powerpuff Girls, not so much. I mean, they could still do it. It could still happen. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will based on the wording of this article, but this is just the initial announcement, so things could change, or we might not know a lot, or yada, yada, yada. Hopefully, Craig can come out on Twitter and confirm some things. And actually, you know what? While I'm doing this, I'm actually going to go on Twitter really quick and see what Craig has to say. Okay, so according to this tweet right here, somebody said, "Please don't let people reboot your shows. My PPG, they masqueraded them." I think they meant massacred, but Craig responded to this tweet saying, "I'm rebooting them, so this is actually my PPG." I love to see that. That makes me so happy. How would these PPGs be any different from the 2016 one? Craig says, "I will be involved." Boom! There you go. Let's go. All right, let's see. Okay, according to this, somebody's commenting on wanting the original voices back. Craig says the house is a really big place. There's plenty of room for all kinds of friends, and who's to say old friends aren't there? That's probably in relation to Foster's Home rather than Powerpuff Girls, so that's kind of an indirect answer. It doesn't look like there's any more new tweets since then, but there's a couple things there, I guess. So I hope Craig can confirm more, and I'm definitely going to be paying attention to his Twitter like a hawk over the next week or so to see if he announces anything else. But yeah, I absolutely lost my mind when I saw this announcement. I cannot wait. I really hope that it's a good show. I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic. I don't want to build up so much anticipation and hype that I'm like disappointed when it comes out or anything. So I'm trying to keep my expectations low. I'm just really, really happy. As far as my coverage of it goes in the future, yeah, I absolutely want to make videos on it. I absolutely want to talk about this new show when it comes out. I'm not going to promise you that I'm doing every episode or anything. Who knows? If it's a good show, maybe. We'll see. But I definitely want to make videos on it. The CW series, that's still happening. If it weren't for the fact that it's Powerpuff Girls and you guys probably want me to make videos on it, I could not care less about that show. It sounds like an absolute disgrace. It's going to be a dumpster fire. I know it is. I cannot wait to see how much of a dumpster fire it is, just because I want to say I told you so. I knew it was a bad idea from day one. That script came out, everyone lost their mind, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I have no faith in this." I'm like, I don't understand how people had faith in it before that script leaked, but then the script leaked, and I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. So in the future, I will be covering the CW series. I will be covering this new show when it comes out. Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably coming out in like 2024, like 2 years, because that's what I've noticed with a lot of shows or projects. It's like usually an animated series gets announced, and then it's like 2 years later, or a little less, or a little more than 2 years. Like, I think that happened with Kid Cosmic, actually. I know that happened with Samurai Jack Season 5. You know, it's usually like more than a year, at least, definitely. But most likely like 2 years-ish, who knows. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I think for right now. I'm definitely very optimistic about this series, much more so than I ever was for the 2016 reboot and the CW series that's yet to come out. So you can definitely expect Powerpuff videos from me when these shows drop. In the meantime, my upload schedule is still going to be a little bit sparse. Hopefully, interest in the new shows will get more people interested in my channel again. That'd be really cool. I'd love to share my love and passion for Powerpuff Girls back to the levels of like the first season of the 2016 reboot, because back then, that first season when Powerpuff Girls was like in the spotlight again, granted everyone was upset, but the fact that it was in the spotlight, that made me very happy. And I'd love to experience that again when these shows drop, even if the CW show is going to be terrible. But I know there are contrarians out there that are going to say, well, you don't know that it's going to be terrible. You haven't seen it yet, you know, and it's like, we'll see. We'll see. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love for you to prove me wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts on this announcement down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think, what you're hoping for in the series, what you hope the series doesn't do. I really hope it's not a preschool show, but it doesn't sound like it will be based on what we've seen so far. Anyways, that's about going to do it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer, because I make Powerpuff videos, and if you're interested in Powerpuff Girls, you can definitely bet there will be more Powerpuff Girls videos in the future. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, Shadowstreak signing off.